Can you hear us? Just a tiny bit? Okay.
Woohoo. Okay.
Francisco.
Nice. So before we get started with this wonderful event this evening, we're going to have someone from the Chiapas Support Community to come on up and share a little bit about tonight. So if we can have one of the committee members to come up. So once again, welcome everyone. We'd really like to say thank you for truly being a part of a really beautiful day. Lots of great workshops, music, poetry, food, and most of all, community connection. And just really enjoying an opportunity for us to continue to connect. And so as we had one of the poets earlier today say one of what's really important about the revolution that we're having to come forward is the revolution of love and how we can bring love in the room and love and healing in our communities. And so we have a wonderful group that's up here. And once again, I said earlier, please excuse if there's any enunciation words, messed up things of that matter. Just know that I am awakening my native tongue, right? To come back to its original form, to be able to do the r and the whatever it is to bring that word out. So know that every time I come up here to say a name, it's from such a deep place of love, and that language not be the barrier to separate us. So I have the des passants. I have the des passants group up here that is ready to absolutely share their love with you. So once again, we have des passants. Let's give it up for them.
Hola. Hi.
Buenas tardes. ¿Dónde estamos? Ha sido un día muy largo. So, los que estaban aquí, pues desde el principio es un día muy largo. Muy bien, ya estamos. sirena que canta, de la mar aguas oscuras, de la vida sus ternuras, y de la flor que quebranta la promesa que le espanta de perderse todo su color. Marchitar lo veo un primor, sigo pescando entre las olas y así nunca estoy a solas. Seguimos viviendo amor. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. La unión hace la mudanza. Poco a poco extiende por todo el continente, hasta fronteras alcanza. La música, el canto y danza de los jaraneros, como haciéndose guerreros, así como guerreros contra las separaciones entre dos grandes naciones. Juntémonos, compañeros. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. Dirían color quebrado por no ser de raza pura, pero mi sangre asegura que vengo del sol dorado, sabio viento plateado, mar azul que lleva amores, tierra negra por sudores. Si estas son aberraciones, que brillen mis refracciones, soy de raza de colores. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. Luna negra, negra, luna negra, color de tu madre. Color de tu madre. Color de tu madre. Color de tu madre. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Somos Diapasón. Escucharon un poco de poesía que escribimos nosotros en estas décimas que les presentamos, y junto con un son que escribió un grupo bien conocido y amigos de nosotros también, los Cojolites Luna Negra. Entonces esa es una variación de su son y es un son nuevo, algo nuevo. Pero vamos a tocar algunos sones tradicionales y uno que escribimos nosotros, una composición nueva. Entonces, seguimos con uno algo tradicional.
I want to thank Maria for trying to learn one of the decimas that I wrote at the last minute. It was really valiente of her, and I appreciate it a lot because I write decimas sometimes and I don't share them a lot, and so it felt really like she gave me a voice today. So thank you, Maria.
Lázalo,
Lázalo,
Lázalo que se te va.
échame tu brazo en mi alma y nunca te olvidará.
Lázalo,
Lázalo,
Lázalo que se te fue.
échame tu brazo en mi alma y nunca te olvidaré. Dame tu brazo, mi alma, y nunca te olvidarás. Lázalo,
Lázalo que se te fue.
échame tu brazo, mi alma, y nunca te olvidaré.
Échale fuego. Bueno, esta música viene del campo, de los ranchos de Veracruz. Tenemos unos, bueno, algunos de ustedes son de Veracruz, nuestros, ¿sí? De los ranchos de allá de Veracruz, del campo. Entonces, los temas hablan de pues lo que es el campo, por eso el toro, y hay mucho del trabajo con el ganado. Entonces, por eso el toro es un son más fuerte. Ahorita vamos a tocar un son que habla de un pájaro que es allá, que se llama el coco. Y este pájaro es un pájaro que migra de Veracruz hasta Canadá. Entonces, tiene pues un simbolismo así como eso también de la migración, etcétera. Pero pues sí, el pájaro se llama el coco y casi no se ve, pero pues se dice que sabe bien. Do we need translation?
We just a quick summary. Just a quick summary.
Go.
It's about a bird.
It is not.
Just kidding. It's about wind. It's about so many. I don't know what you said because you said a lot of things. You said stuff about the campo. It's okay. You all got it, right?
The music comes from the countryside of Veracruz. We have some people in the audience from Veracruz. And so the themes are often about those surroundings. The one we just did was about the bull and the bullfighting and the roundups, etc. And now we're going to do a song for you that's about a bird that's a migratory bird and also tastes very good. But it's a symbolism of migration. Yes, it tastes good too. Coco muy bueno, Isa, en especia fina, Isa, en especia fina, dicen que coco muy bueno, dicen que coco muy bueno, Isa, en especia fina, Isa, en especia fina, dicen que coco muy bueno, pero yo digo que es más buena la gallina, que es más buena la gallina, pero yo digo que no, pero yo digo que no, que es más buena hice rendida, te adoré constante, huelen pajarillas, huelen vigilantes, si la piedra es dura, tú eres un diamante, como no ha podido mi amor ablandarte, si te hago un cariño, me haces un desprecio, y luego me dices que mi amor es necio, y luego me dices que mi amor es necio, Coco.
Y'all got the chorus now, Kelly goes Coco too. Sing along. If you would like. I got a thumb cramp. That's what I get for playing guitar at the workshop. ¿Lo voy a decir en inglés o en español? ¿Qué prefieren? Or Spanglish? Spanglish! Yes. You didn't get a vote.
No bad words.
No bad words. Okay. We're gonna play a song called, bueno, it's a song, I guess, really still. Is it a song yet? No, it's a song still called Verdades Verdes. And it was written as part of a project that Maria de la Rosa started with a bunch of other musicians from here and also from Mexico, from Veracruz. And a lot of people have participated. It's gone on for over 3 years. And we've been working on writing sones that are from here and represent the things that we live every day in California, in the United States, in the Bay Area. We love all the traditional sones, but it just feels like it's pertinent to have sones that are about what goes on for us here. So Verdades Verdes is about the environment, really, which, I mean, is a problem all over the place.
Justice.
And food justice, but it's a big problem here.
Can you hear me? Sí? I think I'm in the monitor. Sí, Verdades Verdes es un tema nuevo que habla de, bueno, nació aquí, en la Bahía, y habla de la justicia dentro del sistema de alimentación. Y por eso se llama Verdades Verdes.
Gracias por estar aquí y por apoyar este bonito evento y por escucharnos a nosotros.
Get myself reset here.
I'm not used to saying the serious things. Usually she says all the serious stuff, and I only say the stuff that's funny-ish.
Yeah, but I don't listen to my own advice, and so I'm out of shape. Before I forget, we're being live streamed apparently, and my family out of town made a big effort to get together, so hopefully they're out there somewhere. Un aplauso para la familia, donde están, aquí, allá, en todos lugares. Los amo, yo creo que, I don't know if you guys want to...
Oh, do you want
No, a saludo for somebody. Okay, where's my, am I good here? Huh? Okay, este será el último son que vamos a tocar porque hay un programa bastante largo. Si les interesa, hay mucha actividad en toda la bahía acerca del son. Hay clases cada semana, los miércoles, en la peña de Berkeley, de principiantes hasta más avanzados, como quieran, están invitados. También se ofrece Domingo de Son en San Francisco, Cassandra, cada mes, más o menos.
Sí, mañana tenemos Domingo de Son con un grupo especial que está aquí de la Ciudad de México, se llama Semilla, y van a estar con nosotros. Entonces, van a haber talleres de leona, de requinto, de jarana, de zapateado. Y si necesitan información sobre cualquier clase o evento, si buscan en Facebook Son de la Bahía, allí publicamos todo, porque pues, a veces dicen, oh, hay algo, ahí está toda la información. Son de la Bahía, Son de la Bahía.
Y si les gustan, bueno, les gustamos nosotros a Diapasón, también hay una página para Diapasón, por favor, danos un like para saber cuándo es la próxima presentación y pues se puede pues también participar en fandangos en muchos lugares, va a haber fandango en la próxima semana también. Entonces, quien quiere más información, bueno, menos Tomás, se puede escuchar. Okay, I think I caught my breath. Oh, yeah. Este último son se habla de un animal muy conocido y pues es un juego también. Yo creo que va a ser muy fácil para ustedes seguir. Tania en algún momento va a bajar y pedir a ustedes seguir lo que es el juego de la iguana.
Okay.
Un son divertido.
Okay, wait. Who likes to sing? Anybody? Who prefers to dance? Okay, right hand you like to sing, left hand you like to dance, both hands you like both.
Y si no levantaron manos, salgan.
So, she is going to do a little demonstration up here of what you do, and then she's going to come down there, and hopefully you guys will all stand up and dance with her. And what you have to try to do, this is the game, is you have to try to follow what Maria de la Rosa is going to be saying. So if she says, shake your booty, shake your booty. If she says, wiggle your head, you got to wiggle your head. Right? And then I will be singing a coro when I'll say, what do I say?
La hey.
And you can sing along with me if you like. It's pretty easy, even if you don't speak Spanish. Si hablan español es más fácil. Si no, it's good too. Yes? Are you ready to sing and dance? Come on. Come on. I know it's hot, but why not? Ooh, that rhymed. Good.
Este pueblo no es novedad.
borracho que se dio se lastimó la cadera.
El borracho que se dio se lastimó la cadera.
Iguana mía, que pa' dónde va, que voy para el pueblo de Soledad. Sinceramente la sincera verdad, porque anda diciendo la pitaya. En ese pueblo no hay novedad, si lo vieran tampoco será que carita fea.
Ajea, ajea,
La cabeza,
ajea,
como cabecea,
ajea, ajea,
mueve la manita,
ajea,
como que manea,
ajea, ajea,
mueve los coditos, como que codea,
ajea, ajea,
mueve la faldita, como que faldea, mueve la pancita, como que pancea, mueve la patita, como que patea, mueve la pancita, como que pancea, mueve la colita, como se menea, mueve la cadera, como caderea, mueve la patita, como que patea, hasta la manita, como que manea, saca la lengüita, uy, que está muy fea, mueve el hombrito, como que hombrea, mueve la colita, como se manea, a la que aquea, a la que aquea, la iguana se va de una escalera,
una iguana se cayó de arriba de una escalera.
el borracho que se dio se lastimó la cadera.
El borracho que se dio se lastimó la cadera.
Una. Gracias a los bailadores. Muchas gracias. Creo que tenemos un bonito programa que sigue. Gracias por su atención y escuchar los sones tradicionales y algunos no tan tradicionales de Veracruz, sones jarochos. Y si quieren más información, habla con nosotros. Gracias por venir, gracias por su atención.
So good. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So what we're going to be doing between the band setup is that we're going to have some poetry, and here we go. Can you hear me now? Perfect. So good evening, everyone, and welcome again. Someone from the Chiapas Support Committee was supposed to come up here earlier, so I'm going to do that now. So hear my words, please. So Oakland is a community of small and big wounds. Oakland is a community of big and great dreams. Oakland is a community of black, brown, red, yellow, white, storms, and a rainbow soul of cultures and communities. We are a community of communities. So it's in this city of people's struggles for living wages, housing, healthy food, relevant education, protecting the rights of day laborers, of domestic workers, of the homeless, that we, the Chiapas Support Committee, are part of. So it's not an accident that for the last, since 1998 and even since 1994, we have been doing this work in big and small ways of trying to say we have to connect with our communities across the border with the Zapatistas. And it's really important that we connect here in Oakland. First of all, we don't have to connect with Chiapas. We might never connect with Chiapas. We may never even meet the Zapatistas. But believe me, they want us to meet and talk and figure out how we work together. So what I'm going to do is I'd like to invite Bathsheba back up to do the MC work. And remember, we have a lot of information in the back. We have, there's a table. One of the ways we support the Zapatista communities is that there's a lot of handmade, hand-woven blouses, materials that come from a Zapatista women's collective, an art collective, and we sell all their stuff, and we don't keep no money. The Chiapas Support Committee is all volunteer. We don't keep any money. None, zero. Everything goes to the community's back. So you're not supporting us. We're supporting you, if you want to see it, look at it that way. So when you buy stuff, you're giving the money back directly to the community. And we support their autonomy projects, education, healthcare projects, education promoters, building schools. So whatever you support here, you support us. Not us, but the Zapatista communities. When I say us, I mean you all, us. Okay? So when we say they, we say us. When they say we say us. And we're in this together. So what I'd like to do is Poesía María Arte ready to go. And Marshall. Okay, Poesía María Arte. No. And then I'm going to So let's give a round of welcome to Poesía María Arte, direct from Seattle, Zapatista.
Hi, everybody. I go by Poesía María Arte. I'm an adherente to La Sexta, which is I support fully the resistance of the Zapatista communities, and I've been able to for the last 5 years travel to the communities as an artist, as a hip hop artist, and connect and build with the movements, the creative movements in Chiapas and in Mexico. So a lot of the work I do is around building hip hop autonomy and talking about Zapatismo through the arts. So I'm going to share a few of my spoken word poetry. Yeah, enjoy. Esta canción viene del alma, dentro del corazón, el llanto de mi nación. Recuerda, la lucha ancestral no se vende en la televisión. Corporaciones dándote un jueguito de lecciones. ¿Cuáles de los capitalistas te compró con sus cuentos de hadas? Illegitimate nation built on occupation, regardless of the fascist borders or presidents. Seeking truth through a gadget extracted from natural resources. Children digging for minerals to produce technology. Everything overpriced, price tagged. First world problems, mentally focused without all the noises. Every action has a reaction. This pretty face cuts through all the oppressive dynamics. Yo soy la poeta de la lluvia con esta oración. Otra más. White men theories are shit in the streets. Autonomous, anonymous, patiently released, wings clipped, metaphorically, lyrically perceive life as a melody. Ancestors within release, free of the seven seas. I have no fear to expose the lies with light, because I heard it all in their soak with the blood of my ancestors. They're soaked with the blood of my ancestors. Itzy soul, rebelliously delicate, calma la alma con agua, sangre de fuegos, can flow sancelos journeys ago. From the Himalayas to the Andes, found myself echoing laughter 2009 went and came. Now here today, learning from mistakes, homegirl type of friend, never been a beauty queen, always a poet optimist, no hands on the wheel, beat rhyming. Only Allah can judge me, only Allah can judge me. It's so rebelliously delicate, calma la alma con agua, sangre de fuegos can flow sancelos, journeys ago. Journeys ago. Dicen que la hija de campesinos no sabe nada porque se creen mejor que su propia gente. La educación americana les lavó la mente. Yo sé quién soy y tú quién eres. Dicen que hablo muy críticamente porque prefiero estar en las calles con la gente. Yo siempre ando en las calles con la gente. It's so rebelliously delicate. Calma la alma con agua, sangre de fuegos, can flow sancelos. Journeys ago. Journeys ago. Thank you. So these are actually raps. So these are actually songs I rap, but I did the spoken word version. But you can find the rap version on SoundCloud. Thank you.
Come on, let's give it up one more time. Give it up, give it up, give it up. So we have a wonderful group that will be coming forward in just a moment as the band is getting prepared. How many of you have been enjoying your day today? Give it up. If you wave your hands, if you've been enjoying the workshop, the music, community, thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure to connect with everyone. So we have the Black Warrior Formation. The Black Warrior Formation that's going to be coming forward with Marshall Trammell, and we have a wonderful South African poet that will also be a part of this collective. All right. So we have such a gifted musician here. As the band is getting ready, we have Arnaldo who's coming forward, who is a mighty poet. He's also been an organizer for today. He's also been a sound man for today. He's been a food guy for today. He's been a community advocate for today. He's been an MC for today. He's been an all-around guy for today. Come on, let's give it up for Arnaldo.
Hey, so I'm going to do something that I wrote a long time ago. It's a poem about Malcolm X, but in the X is going to be in Nawa, so it's shh. So it's called Hawar Negro, means black jaguar. Malcolm, shh. Malcolm, shh. Malcolm X. Malcolm, shh. Malcolm Xochitl, Malcolm Xochimilco, Malcolm Xochilpitzin, Malcolm Obsidiana, Humo Negro, Espejo Negro, Malcolm X, con tu pensamiento podremos esclarecer el futuro, te recogemos, te recobramos, eres nuestro Malcolm X, Malcolm Shh, Malcolm Xochitl, Malcolm Xochimilco, Malcolm Xochipiltzin, Malcolm Xoch. Eres nuestro Malcolm X, esa X común a todos y a todas, cruz y alas esta X, papalotl, apellido, mariposa de la ternura militante, X, un ser alabado al cielo de la humanidad, pies y manos de un Malcolm X, un Malcolm Shh, un Malcolm Xochitl, Xochimilco, Xochipiltzin. Mi apellido también es tuyo, Malcolm. Mis raíces indígenas truncadas tuyas, Malcolm. Tus raíces africanas truncadas mías, Malcolm. Entre X's nació una nueva floresta, una flor negra indígena, entrecruzada con una X germinando, explotando. X, esta flor con sus 4 pétalos y millones de primer nombres. Malcolm X, Malcolm Xochitl, Malcolm Xochimilco, Malcolm Xochilpiltzin, Jacinto X, Maceo X, Arturo X, Violeta X, Amapola X, Manuela X, José X, Caballo Loco X, Mary Ann X, Mary Ann Tenuto X, ¿dónde estás? Caballo Loco X, Quetzalcóatl X, Tonatzin X, Guadalupe X, un pueblo búfalo con su cabello estrellado por el viento, un pueblo X, un pueblo Xochitl, Xochimilco, Xochilpilzan, un pueblo de Malcolm X, el pueblo de X's, un X de pueblos desterrados, esclavizados, machucados, raíces truncadas, un jardín de flor X's. Malcolm X, Papalotl X negro, Malcolm Chalchihuitl, Malcolm Obsidiana negra, Black Butterfly. El viento corre por tus alas X's, danzando en los brazos del movimiento X, Papalotl de las palabras negras. Ondas en el pecho del odio, lacerando las venas del racismo, abanderado a nuestros pueblos arcoírises con sus arcoírises X, 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 Xochitl, Xochipilzin, 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 Xochipilzin. X red juntando tierras y cielos, papalotl negro, asesinada mariposa obsidiana, hombre X negro miope, polvo y pólvora de nuestra historia X multiplicada. Tus alas en vuelo, Malcolm X, Malcolm Xochitl, Malcolm Xochimilco, Malcolm Xochilpilzin, Malcolm X, tus palabras en voz alta, tus puños altivos, dejaste tu X de apellido, tu Xochipil, para llenarlo con el nuestro de liberación. Dos alas en cruz, Malcolm. Dame tu apellido de X's, X, 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 X. Una red de mariposas, flores y alabanzas, pueblos de Malcolm, Malcolm Xochitl, Malcolm Xochimilco, Malcolm Xochilpilzin, Malcolm X. Malcolm X, in the poem says, we all have an X. I named a bunch of people, giving them the X last name, right? Our movement is a movement X, movement Xochitl. We've got to go back to the roots. And then the three things I call him, right, is I call him Xochitl is a flower, Xochimilco is a place of flowers, and Xochipilzin means the dear prince of flowers of the X of the sh. So Malcolm X, right? So he's still with us and still a very powerful presence, and we can change him like he changed us. So he's joining the indigenous movement now. Malcolm X, say it, Malcolm X, and then say shh. But it's not to be quiet; it's to go back to our roots. Say it, Malcolm shh. Malcolm, beautiful.
This is Rob right here helping us with the support. Thank you very much. And Jason, I think, is back there helping out. Can't do without them. So if you just hold on for a minute, we're going to get started. This next thing we're going to do, I appreciate those who thank you as well for we're going to present a project that I've created through my analysis of Black forms of resistance. And there is a man named Russell Schultz. He's been incarcerated in the same prison that Mumia is in. He's a former BLA member, a former Black Panther, and he wrote an essay called Black Fighting Formation. And his book came out from recently, and I got to know his daughter who was doing the book tour, and I was asked with a colleague of mine to um, to talk about what our music had to do with the work that we were presenting for the book. So the project, the essay that got me most was a short one called Black Fighting Formations, in which he analyzes Black armed resistance organizations from 1960 to 1994. This is someone who has risked his life to fight for liberation, right? And he's still doing it from behind the enemy's walls. So in this essay, he talks about certain groups. I thought about, what about cultural workers? What about the artists? What are our and then are they as critical as those who've taken up arms against the state? Are our paintings and our cultural expressions as critical, as aligned in front of the tanks of the state? All right. So one of the things that came out was this structure to kind of bring the audience into the creative process, which is part of the work that we're doing right now. We're not on the stage. There's no stage. We're exploding the idea of a stage. We're up there, but they're also with you. But in this project, it's something that I call performing ethnomusicology. Ethnomusicology is like music, and so forth, and and so this project allows us to bring you into not only the performance side, but then the political education part of it. So this is like political education and performing ethnomusicology combined in a black fighting formation that I call simultaneous multidimensionality. A lot of words. I can't help it. Can't help myself. I spin too many words. But simultaneous multidimensionality is kind of a condition of being human. So in this case, we've sort of changed the form. We've done this form before. I do this form with different people. I like having kind of a static framework, and then different people come into it. Right? It's like canvases. So in this framework, my master here, my teacher, my colleague suggested that we change it up a bit. And in this instance, we're asking for your participation. It'll happen at certain times. Yes? So in the beginning, what's going to happen is that I think there's a remote microphone for us. Is this it? Okay. You said yes? Okay, at some point, one thing at a time. No, I'm going to do the mic. Yeah, sure. Give us a mic stand. Sure. So what's going to happen is something that is kind of a mystery in nonverbal music is kind of what's going on. What is the story? What's the narrative? We invite you to listen. But in this case, I'm gonna perform on the drum. I'm gonna speak to the drums. He's gonna tell you a story about resistance. He's gonna tell you a story about maybe like how he's from his homeland in South Africa, where it is. He might tell you a story about apartheid and how they've built music and resistance and food and we're front lines with heavy repression every day. Maybe he'll tell you a story about that. And then after that time is done, he's going to play music, and then I'm going to tell you a story about work that I do, that I've done. And then he decided, who is this music for? Who's in the room? So he said, we should put a microphone out there, and then we're as we perform collectively, right? We're performing our individual discipline. We're performing horizontally to each other, and now we're looking at the z-axis. We're inviting the community to echo in back into maybe. So we like for you, when we're doing our duet together, to make it like a trio, right? To make it an ensemble, and to tell us specifically about why you're here. What is it about revolution? What is it about the Zapatistas? What is it about land? What is it about your indigenous roots? What is it about art and culture that brings you here today, that gives it like relevance, or that strengthens, that strengthens us? So we know from he's ready. Young man is ready. Oh, okay. But he's like, okay, I'm ready. So enough words. Thank you. I think that if I wish that it goes on, it's really on. It's on. It's on. So it's on. No? So you don't know what to do. Yeah. For me, hello. Uh, I figure we don't have as much time as for me to tell you a story is going to take about years and years, I guess. I don't know how to minimize stories. But in this case, I will play a song that comes from the struggle of South Africa, of when people like me were little young boys who, not too little, but young boys who were fighting the apartheid. I don't know, maybe older folks know about South Africa, right? Young folks don't know that we had a very, very bad system over there by the white folks
who were oppressing the Africans in their own country. And that system, we call it apartheid. So here I go. Thank you. Um, Thank you again. This is an audience that listens, and I'm very appreciative of that because I think we are going to go a long way. This is just the beginning, isn't it? I think we'll go a long way. And thanks to Marshall for me and my family, and of course, thanks to you. Thank you. And my name again is Mohawani. Mohawani. Yeah. In Africa, we don't rush names. They have some hiccups and dongas and hills. Mohawani. Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to have another wonderful artist coming from South Africa. And I'm going to take my time and remember the hills, the valleys, the rivers, the water. So we have in the house with us today Upagameli, Umzale Mimi, who is here today. And if I mispronounce it, she will come up and correct it. So once again, a wonderful artist here from South Africa. Let's give her so much love.
Good evening. Thank you for the space to the Chiapas Community Support and Omni Commons to come bring awareness and share talent. This is a piece I wrote. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, so this is a piece I wrote in response to violence that happens in my country. And it was self-reflection of who we are, what we're doing, and it's also drawing similarities to what's going on in America, like the intolerance of other people, immigrants, and yeah, this is similar, so bear with me. The violence is inhumane and inexcusable. The justification, scandalous and foolish. The ignorance is asphyxiating and eviscerating. I wish for oblivion. Targeting other civilians with no provocation is tragic. Xenophobic attacks, as they are popularly known in South Africa, have erupted intermittently for over a decade, and sanitizing them is not only a shame but unfortunate because it takes away the real threat to existence, capitalism, creator of slavery, colonialism, apartheid, and today democracy. I was watered in a township in that country named of its geographical position, my place of birth, most esteemed and endless fill for prosperity for Westerners. We are revered because we are a country that's being taught to cleanse itself of the African continent. We're Africa Light, the economy hub. We don't have roads like in Malawi. We have an underground subway. We hosted the World Cup, whose debt the non-profit FIFA left us to tend to. We boast a huge number of Muzungus. We speak good English. America approves of us. We have Mr. Mandela. Crime is an ill-fated epidemic that confronts most impoverished societies around the world, most so Black and other communities of color. Capitalism creates crime, poverty, and inequality. The capitalist system is our obstacle, economic exclusion our demise. Truth is, the system cripples us. Our basic services are pelling because state and its capitalist opportunists, the monopolistic investors, elitist compradors, and devilish NPOs and NGOs and churches have captured us, exploiters, and we're still chained to our cages. The recent downgrade, which happened, put pressure on an already saturated economy. Inflation rose up with unemployment, and so has the frustration, making more conducive attacks. The gods be good sensibility will be the beginning of honest and progressive diagnostics of realization and resistant movements, understanding and education, and action against imperialism. Human nature is migration. Those who came before us did so for millennia. It was a way of life for travel, love and kinship, trade, and sometimes disruptions like natural disasters in politics and conquest initiated migration. And the last few centuries have been more so of an imposed migration by way of subjugation, objugation, and globalization. Migrants migrate and occupy different spaces with varying degrees of pains and vulnerabilities, of displacement from their captured lands, imposed sanctions, man-made famines, and hopes and wills to be humanized for opportunity and exchange or just following DNA. Our fellow Africans move south and more often than not are met by mistrustful love, resistance, and rejection, prejudice and mockery of one another. We are the wretched of the earth. Our dichotomous behavior, divisive views, and the stereotypes that while some may hold are not the monolithic makeup of the different ethnicities, nor their holistic tendencies. State has allowed capitalists to keep dictating to our lives. We need to take back the power and wage ideology against the empire, dispel the exceptionalism, account for inhuman nurture, and confront capitalism. Motho ke motho ka batho ma-Afrika omhle. A ko mpontshe meno a masweu-sweu, o ntshe monyenya o kgatlhisang letsatsi, ka dipounama tse dintshonyana, botle bo tlhagang jaaka naledi e phatsimang godimo ga thaba. Maiboe Africa. And this last one that I'll read, it's about women, an expression of our love sometimes, or the cultural dictates, and yeah, it's entitled, and it goes, I saw them shipped off in what seemed like droves, in sorrow and in celebration. I saw them shipped off. We danced, ate, and drank. We celebrated their achievement. Some cried and expressed worry, and others jealous. I saw them shipped off. We came out in our Sunday dresses in the scorching sun with sweat running down our faces, our feet covered in dust. We danced, sang, and feasted. Pride and joy emanated from their faces, for the day came when they could swank. I saw them with their bruises and puncture wounds and swollen lips. I saw them come back home with their bags and babes, sorrow in their eyes, tears running down their high cheekbones or dried up. Distress hung up on their hunched shoulder, embarrassed, defiant, and determined. They came back, angry, and some bitter. I saw them, nervous, scared, and sad, kids mutilated, blood flowing down their infantile thighs, their innocence stolen, and others, curious, excited, and proud to prove their purity, for their vulvas to be pulled, fixed, and enhanced. Knowledge and customs passed on, celebrations in honor of their newfound womanhood. I saw them head out to parade and be paraded, all this excess love. I saw them stretch their hair, buy clothes they don't afford, keep their tags only to send them back. I saw them with their hungry look lips, black line and blush. I saw them totter in their red stilettos, pink pipto platforms, figure hugging, ass exposing animal print dresses. They sit at the bar with their good smiles and glossy lips, big hands on their thighs and buttocks, bearing the chauvinistic conversation, smiling and hopeful. I saw them ready to be shipped off like their mothers and the matriarchs before them. I see me in all of them, unmarried and childless, waiting and saving myself, pressured, time against me, and anxious to be paraded, bring pride to be shipped off. I see my sisters, single parents, robbed of their hearts, scarred, burned, and burdened, waiting, wishful for the chance to be made honest women, to redeem themselves, to be strutted around, to be shipped off. We fight it, we tolerate it, and excuse it, all in search of love, to be loved and loved back. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Umpegamili. And her name means he who stood up. Thank you once again. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you for sharing so deeply. Where do we go from here? Would be the great question. We have quite a few artists that will be. Hi, Naima. I think you're up next. Is there a poet in the house who wants to come and express their love right now on the mic? Any poets who want to come and share one of their pieces? Okay. Here we go.
Hey, good evening, everyone. 1967, some of us were working in the fields, and some of us were working in the mountains of Bolivia, giving it all. So this year is the 50th anniversary of the death of Che Guevara, October 8th, 1967, October 8th, 2017. So what I'd like to do is give a little tribute to him. He's one Hello? Oh, there we go. So, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Che Guevara, he's still very whatever you think about what he did during the Cuban Revolution and what he did in he prepared to go to organize in Bolivia. You know what he did? He went to Africa for a year and a half to prepare to fight in Bolivia. So he fought for a year and a half in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The guy was really crazy and amazing. So I just wrote this. This is a long time ago too. It's just called Utopias. Che has forgotten he is dead. He has forgotten he is dead. His bullet-riddled corpse still bleeding, but death stopped, forgotten. Che has the longest memory, the deepest heart. Che has forgotten he's dead. Che has the longest memory, the deepest heart. The only thing he forgets is his death. When you forget death, you remember life. Che has forgotten he is dead. So I know that where's Jose at? What we're going to do two things. We're going to give just a really brief snapshot of what's happening in Chiapas and in Mexico. It's really exciting. The indigenous communities, what they're doing with an anti-capitalist movement. And I'm going to have Jose give a snapshot, and then we're going to ask you something to do after he's done.
Hi, everyone. I got a big announcement before I say anything. There's coffee in the back if anybody wants some. So I want to thank everyone that's been here. It's been a really long day, but the energy still feels good. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming, and I really appreciate folks that have stayed throughout the entire day and folks that are just arriving. So I know some of you were already here, so some of this might be redundant. So I just wanted to repeat and give a little information about who we are. We're the Chiapas Support Committee. We're one of the 12 collectives that stewards the Omni Commons. We've been around, the Chiapas Support Committee has been around for about 20 years now, and we've been working with the Zapatista communities, supporting the construction of their autonomous educational infrastructure, as well as occasionally supporting microeconomic development projects to build the autonomous economies of the communities. It's still, I'm just gonna be in my mouth. How's that? Is that better? Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're one of the 12 collectives that stewards the space. The Omni is a space comprised of 12 different collectives that work across different topics of social justice. And we host all kinds of events here and make the space accessible to the community. And we ended up here actually by producing an event very similar to this a couple of years ago, and were then offered a space here, and that's why we're able to produce the events like the event that we're having tonight. Some of the other work that we do in Chiapas is obviously sharing the work that we do and what's going on in the Zapatista communities. And as some of you know, right now there is a lot of mobilization happening around the candidacy of an indigenous woman by the name of Marichui, which has been nominated to represent the communities and the CNI as a candidate to, I'm trying to explain this in a way that doesn't really sound too complicated, but still delivers the message, but then doesn't leave room for things to be left out of context. So they nominated an indigenous woman, Marichui, to run as the candidate for the CNI, but the um, idea behind the campaign is not about taking state power, but rather to um, consolidate. It's a consolidation of sorts of a lot of work that has been happening um, in the National Indigenous Congress over the last 20 years, where a lot of the indigenous communities across Mexico have been organizing themselves according to their needs in their own communities. And there's a relationship there, obviously, with the Zapatista community. So they're running the candidate as a way to raise the issues that are affecting their communities, and also as an invitation for the rest of the country to join the movement to explore an alternative to the existing system that they already know is not providing them with what they want. So, in short, that's kind of like the broad stroke of what's going on and what it means to be running Marichui as a candidate for the presidency of Mexico. If anybody's interested in more information and more details about how that's developing, you can ask myself, Arnoldo, and a few of the other folks in the Chiapas Support Committee. Thank you.
So the punchline is that the indigenous, I couldn't hear that well, but I'm going to repeat it because the indigenous communities, that's called the CNI, the Indigenous National Congress, where the Zapatistas are forming a parallel government or their own indigenous council of government, and they've chosen a woman to represent them. And their goal is to unite indigenous and non-indigenous people in an anti-capitalist movement, and also embrace themselves into a building community together. So it's really important to get that message across, right, about the changes that are happening. If you keep up what's happening in Mexico, right, it's a big disaster. The drug war casualty is close to 200,000 people right now, with about 50,000 people disappeared, not counting migrants, which is in the hundreds, which is about 25,000 migrants. And we're not even counting the migrants on the U.S. side of the border that have disappeared because of the U.S. policy of funding them through the desert. So right now, what we're facing, right, is with the Trump administration in high gear, right, they're trying to really implement a free trade agreement. So a lot of the things that you're seeing, like gentrification, right, gentrification is what free trade looks like at home. The way gentrification looks like in the border is that every day, 2 migrant bodies are found of people who are dying in the U.S. side of the border. Right now, tonight, there's almost 500,000 people in prison awaiting deportation. They have not done anything wrong. They have not broken a law. They haven't robbed a bank. They haven't killed anyone. Their only crime is that they're undocumented. Now, I know a lot of people might think this is Trump. No, Obama, Bush before him, and Clinton before him, they created this system. The record holder for deportations right now is President Obama, or ex-President Obama. He helped build the wall. He did it in a different way, right? Because he had a lot of support in communities of color. But there's blood on his hands, and there's a drug war going on that the U.S. is involved in, and it's a disaster. So a lot of the people you see in our indigenous communities, when you see day laborers, they're indigenous people from Mexico, Maine, usually. So when you're seeing, if you want to know what free trade looks, look at the day laborers in the corners. You want to see like gentrification looks and how it's imposed differently in Mexico and the U.S. Look at the casualties there and the casualties here. What are our casualties, right? Black Lives Matter, the police violence against black people and black men in particular, black boys and men. And it's all connected, right? Because that's how they implement free trade, or the neoliberal regime that we're living under. And we have to have a different vision, right? So when you look here at the vision of the artists across, people who have been disappeared, a student teacher right there, up there, they were disappeared. There's a lot of things going on that are being done in our name and against our good name. So we have to figure out how we connect. Tonight we're celebrating, right, the work of our movements, right? The culture you're seeing is the product of the fight for human rights and justice in our country, in our communities.
Thank you, Arnaldo, for that information. Thank you so much for the committee and the support and all the work that they've been doing here and abroad. And so we have a wonderful artist and band that is here tonight. And when we talk about community, I just want to share a little bit about the artist, just knowing her personally, just the work that this wonderful artist does in Oakland Unified School District, working with the Restorative Justice Program, just really supporting youth to have their voice and understand that our voices are important. And when we teach our young people how to advocate very early in their lives, how to advocate for justice, how to advocate when things are not as they're supposed to be, whether it be from a classroom teacher not before them and a substitute is there, whether it be violence and hardship, whatever that may be, but that they know that their voice matters. So we have a wonderful restorative justice facilitator, singer, music woman. So we want to give it up for Naima Calhoun in her bed. Let's give it up for Naima.
A shout out to Bathsheba for doing that amazing work as well. Shout out to Arnaldo for inviting us to be here with you all. It's really an honor to share in some musical solidarity with you all. If I could hear the vocal mic a little bit more up on the monitor up here. Thank you. This first song we're going to do for you is an adaptation from a Palestinian poet by the name of Mahmoud Darwish. And it's translated it into English. We'll be playing it for you in English. The poem itself is called The Prison Cell, and a poem of resistance. It's a poem of envisioning freedom and claiming our resilience in our artistic ability to imagine beyond prison walls. T-shirts of Damascus, and this music I got it from this music I got it from my heartbeat. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He begged me to give him back his freedom. Thank you. We have Tarek Ghazela on guitar today. Give it up for Tarek. We have Chris Trinidad on drum kit. And we have Isaac Coe on keys. We're going to do a song for you called Ferguson Gaza Blues. How are you all doing today? This evening? Yeah. It's an honor to gather despite our various different backgrounds and to really come together in honor of the work that the Zapatistas have and continue to do. So Ashe, Amin, all of it to that, and to all of your movement in this struggle. And in that vein, we're going to do a song called Ferguson Gaza Blues. Oh, Ferguson's looking like 1963. The 16th Street Church and Medgar Evers' memory. In Gaza turned gray from the ashes of apartheid. They don't care, they're killing children 'cause they on the devil's side. They send troops so that they can save lives while they fund the massacre of those that resist to survive. They hold the hand of murderers and feed him more weapons as children die before them, as they shout the last wishes. Say that this land is the leader of the free, but the black is still segregated by the veil of criminality. Oh, when are things turning? 'Cause things don't seem to change. Got to keep off this race, 'cause it's time to rearrange. Oh, when are things turning? 'Cause things don't seem to change. Got to keep off this race, 'cause it's time to rearrange. When nothing's turning, 'cause things don't seem to change. We gotta keep off this, we gotta keep off this race, 'cause it's time to rearrange. Oh, when are things turning? Oh, why? 'Cause things don't seem to. They hold the hand of murderers while they feed them more weapons. I said as children die for them, as they shout the last wishes. They say this land is the leader of the free, but stock is still segregated from this village criminality. Oh, and if Mandela was here, they'd say he was father from the mirror about the railroad. When all things turning, 'cause things don't seem to change. We got to keep our fists raised, 'cause it's time to rearrange. Oh, when nothing's turning, when are things, woo! When are things oh, when are things turning? 'Cause things don't seem to change. But we got to keep our hearts raised, 'cause it's time to rearrange. Time We're gonna do this next song. This beautiful woman like showers the entire Bay Area with flowers. Seriously, no joke. An absolute queen. Thank you, Queen Reina. We're gonna do a song called River Inside You. Looks great on you, Tarek. Love it. River Inside You. Sometimes it feels I'm going nowhere. Held captive by the world's highs and lows. But I know none of it can really define me. So it's time to touch the water down in my soul. Yeah, gotta remember these hard times, they come and go. So hold on and let it flow. Oh, take a minute to move from the river inside of you. Take a minute to move from the river inside you. Sometimes I wake up, yeah, I try to run away from my fears. I find myself running in the arms of things that just try to keep me numb. Oh, but I know the gift is in my womb to find my freedom. So hold on and let love flow. Oh, take a minute to move from the river inside you. Take a minute to move from the river inside you. Go down to the water, yeah. Reach down to the water, yeah. Run to the water, yeah. Go down to the water, yeah. I know you feel me now. I know you feel me now. Bop, 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 Go deep down, find the river in you, and wait until you feel the cool water, until you are deep within. Thank you. We're going to play one more for you all. This song is called Oh Sky. I used to stand on a street holding signs up for a cause. Used to believe that my faith would save me from life. Used to have a clear vision of a dream, but it's slowly drifting farther. I'm breathless, I'm trying to see. I started asking such a simple question, and now wise men after wise men wanna sell me an answer. Oh, sky, tell me what to do. Show me where's the light. 'Cause every path I try to walk just don't feel right. Oh, sky, tell me what to do. Show me where's the light. 'Cause every path that I try to walk just don't feel right. We talk a little about how change, but we don't want to change ourselves. What happened to revolution? Bursting colors in the sky. All I see are my brothers taking eye for an eye, and my sisters, we still fighting our power between our thighs. To live for a dream, we have to find our worst fear. Stare into the eyes of impossibility. Oh, sky, tell me what to do. Show me where's the light. 'Cause every path I try to walk just don't feel right. Oh, sky, tell me what to do. Show me where's the light. 'Cause every path that I try to walk just don't feel right. What? Hey, oh, sky.
Living our life, living despite you rescinding our rights, inventing the price, defending a life. We sending a fight to your ignorant might, 'cause the infinite light is on the side of a pip in the sight, and F-16s
Might circle the sky.
But above your war crimes is the power most high, 'cause we never run and we never hide. They got us living on the wrong side of apartheid, and we living in this pivotal position. Speak amongst the weak and live within an inquisition. Every word I speak is recorded through their wishes, though a window for retreat ain't a choice for my picking. Standing with my fist high, tongue tied, listening to sung lies repeated while the sun dies. Eyes lie, but they're watching my reply. I'm expected to divide, but what brown pride rendered alone. Never. We got control of our soul. Down these accusations of pain as they build their walls of vain aim. And Lord, I pray to forgive, but when I wake in the morning, all I see is rain. Cause I'm just a man who never thought of a man to be the plan. Looking for fortunes in the palm of my hand. I'm just a man created to understand nothing. I sit in silence, but the thunderstorm is coming.
Whoa, whoa, tell me what to do. Whoa, 'cause every path that I try to walk just don't feel right. Ho, ho, oh, sky, tell me what to do. Show me where the light, 'cause every path I try to walk just don't feel right. Oh, sky. Thank you so much. Isaac Coe on keys. We got Chris Trinidad on drums. Tariq Ghazela on electric guitar. My name's Naima Shalhoub. Thank you all so much. Stick around for the next beautiful, amazing band coming up. Thank you.
to do two things. Don't leave. Hear these two things, then you're free to go. Monday. I'd like to do two things. Actually, three things. The last thing I'm going to ask you to do after I'm finished talking is ask people to move forward and sit up in the front if possible, and then we'll dance in the back or in the front too. What I wanted to do is ask your permission to be able to speak with you all for two things really important, and I'm going to ask you to tune in. So I wanted to do an honor to one of the members of the Chiapas Support Committee, and she has been doing this work as probably as long as any one of us has in terms of the Chiapas Support Committee. In 1994, on January 1st, right, the Zapatistas seemingly appeared out of nowhere, right, and they said the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, free trade represents a death sentence for indigenous people. And they had been organizing for about 20 years, and they had organized their own army, their own community, and they said no to free trade. They were the only community in the whole wide world that said no. They said, this is a death sentence, and we as a community decide how we live and how we die. And they chose to go to war, right? And the war lasted 12 days. And that time it was really crazy time because everybody thought that the guerrilla movements had died and had disappeared. But this was not a guerrilla movement that we were seeing. The EZLN was actually a grassroots community-based army that was under the command of the Mayan communities. It was their army, and they were the leaders of it. They still are. The civilians are in control of the army there, the EZLN in Chiapas. So a lot of us we knew this was going to happen, right? Because we worked like hell to stop the free trade agreement, and it wasn't stopped. So in 1994, right, the Zapatistas said no, and everybody said, wow, so we can actually say no to in a big way. And we're facing the same situation now with not just with Donald Trump, but the whole system where we have to figure out how we say no to it. And there's been a few individuals that have said no since the very beginning, and I want to honor one person. She's in the back. She's not even hearing me and that's good, because she would probably say no to what I'm going to, that I shouldn't talk. But I want to honor Mary Ann Tenuto Sanchez, who has really played a big leadership role in keeping the connections and the relationship with the Zapatista communities there and bringing them here. So I want to ask. You don't have to come up, Marianne, but I just wanted to recognize all the work you've done and continue doing. She's really effortless, tireless, and I want to honor her because she has really just led this work in a big ways and big and small ways, and continues doing it. So if we could just everybody say thank you, Marianne. She's right there in the back. I usually sit up here in the front. So I really want to recognize her leadership and her work. So I'm going to read you a Buddhist poem. Believe it or not, I am not a Buddhist. Yeah, I am. I'm a Buddhist. This is from a retreat I went to. It was a silent retreat. And I didn't know that because Mexican Buddhists talk. We talk all the time. So I got kicked out of the community, but I didn't have any money to get back home, so they had to take me back. And then I wrote them this poem. I breathe in rain. I breathe out green. I breathe in steps. I breathe out journeys. I breathe in wind. I breathe out sky. I breathe in laughter. I breathe out happiness. I breathe in chaotic talking. I breathe out community. I breathe in her. I breathe out poetry. I breathe in daughters and sons. I breathe out hope. I breathe in forests. I breathe out shadows. I breathe in canyons. I breathe out wings. I breathe in rivers. I breathe out oceans. I breathe in words. I breathe out mountains. I breathe in sage. I breathe out clarity. I breathe in dust. I breathe out the bones of my people. I breathe in oppression. I breathe out liberation. I breathe in fire. I breathe out clouds. I breathe in a bird crashed on the window. I breathe out glass with wings. I breathe in ink. I breathe out veins. I breathe in foreigners. I breathe out families and friends. I breathe in cinema. I breathe out reality. I breathe in displacement. I breathe out homeland. I breathe in evictions. I breathe out convictions. I breathe in .coms. I breathe out mestizos. I breathe in gentrification. I breathe out the ghost dance, the buffalo. I breathe in the mission. I breathe in the Fruitvale. I breathe in Bayview Hunters Point. I breathe in the Iron Triangle. I breathe out familia. I breathe in Bayview Hunters Point. I breathe out the Ohlone accompanying Olin Webb. I breathe in flatlands. I breathe out the future. I breathe in Israel. I breathe out Palestine. I breathe in indifference. I breathe out solidarity. I breathe in Che Guevara. I breathe out Crazy Horse. I breathe in the migra. I breathe out no borders. I breathe in the saxophone. I breathe out nature. I breathe in the upright bass. I breathe out migrant fields. I breathe in drums. I breathe out wounded knee hearts. I breathe in jazz. I breathe out cumbias. I breathe in street vendors. I breathe out ski masks. I breathe in crumbling schools. I breathe out day laborers. I breathe in Buddha. I breathe out Mexican. I breathe in Buddha. I breathe out Mexican. So I wanted to do a commercial. This is an autonomous commercial. This is an omni commercial type commercial. This is a Zapatista type commercial. In Spanish, commercial has the word comer, to eat, right? Los comerciantes nos dan de comer. So this commercial is to feed your soul, though. So there's a little booklet in the back. It looks like this. It's called Poets Against War and Racism. So a lot of the poets that you heard tonight are in the booklet, and I encourage you to pick up a copy. They're $10 or at least $5, but give $10 and then you'll be happier. The more you give, the better you feel, believe me. So the last thing I'm going to say after honoring Marianne Tenuto Sanchez from the Zapatista, the Chiapas Support Committee, is that I'm going to ask you a really hard question. And don't be offended if you say no. I take rejection really well. So I'm going to ask you, and you're going to show it, right? When I was trained as an organizer, the key question that you ask people, if you want to find out whether they actually support what you do, and this is asking you, do you actually support what the Zapatistas do? You know what you do? If you want to find out what they really think about your organizing, and this is for everybody who's an organizer, for your organization, because everybody says, oh man, I love what you're doing. But then you ask them this question. And this is when you find out whether they actually believe and support what you do. That's my little finger pointing. I'll stop. You know how you find out if they support you or not? Does anybody raise your hand if you know the answer? You ask them for money. You ask them for money. So what I'm asking you to do is go to the table where Marianne's at, and there's a basket there, and give at least $10. If you have $100, give $100. If you have $100 in the next 10 months, what we can do is that I will bill you personally $10 a month, and in 10 months you will have given $100 to the Zapatistas. And yeah, so that's how you find out. You ask them for money. Now, yeah, we live in capitalism, right? But the thing is, organizing is about relationships. It's about equity. Whose equity have we built our communities on? Like this gathering, the Zapatistas have built the equity up. They've sacrificed a lot of lives, and they continue sacrificing their lives. And we support them, right? Our sacrifice is to give money. If you can't do anything, if you can't go a demonstration, give money to Just Cause, Mujeres Unidas Activas that was here earlier, the National Network for Immigrant Refugee Rights, Black Lives Matter. That's how you show support, right? Because our lives are measured by the amount of work we do, right? But we're against that. We are more than work. We are more than labor. We are human beings, right? Money does not make us better or worse than anybody else. So give money to the over here in the basket in the back, and I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you don't give money, that's okay. Like I said, it just means you're not ready to support the Zapatistas in that way. Maybe you like their ideas, their ski masks, their nice blouses. Maybe you like Supercomandante Marcos, who's dead. Maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you're like me, you love Che Guevara. And there's different ways to support movements. But if you can't be in the demonstration, you can't be at the meeting, you can't be at CompArte, give money. I'm serious. Every successful revolution, for example, the Cuban Revolution, you know what they did? That all these people who own houses, they sold their houses to raise the money that they needed. They sold their land if they had land. They sold their ranch if they had land. The Zapatistas took a pledge back in 1974 when they started, and the original people said, and almost all the original people have been killed in fighting for what they believed in. They said, this is what we believe in, and there's no going back. And they stuck to their word. They stuck to their word. And when they were in the mountains by themselves, they used to say, and this is all written, you can read they said, are we crazy or something? What are we doing here? And then they didn't know that when they went into the rainforest of Chiapas, that people had been living there for thousands of years. So they knew everybody that came in and out. And the Mayan community said, leave them alone. They're up to good. We'll talk to them later. Let them play around and think that they're going to liberate us. And then that's how shit happened. So I'm asking you to do something, right? And you don't have to do it for the Zapatistas. Do it for the Black Lives Matter movement, Just Cause, Mujeres Unidas Activas. There's a lot of organizations, good organizations out there to support. Become donors. In other words, you know how you get a PG&A bill every month? Well, organizations they can send you a bill and you pay it every month, and you can do it on a credit card, right? Just like you have Netflix, or maybe you have like the wireless plan, which we pay up the nose for it, So it's just like that. If we don't get that kind of system in place, right, we will not be able to finance our own movements. And it's really important because then we decide what we want to do, and they're accountable to us. They're accountable to you. And the Zapatistas, the last thing I'm going to say, I've already said that several times, right, is that look at what the Zapatistas did. They donated about 5 tons of coffee. We have the coffee from the communities. They donated 5 tons of coffee, and they said to us, not just to the Chiapas community, but they said, we're giving you this coffee so you can sell it all, and that money that you raise from the Zapatista coffee, you give to the migrant rights organizations. So that's what we're doing, right? We're selling coffee that the Zapatistas donated. They donated their work of a whole season, or maybe half of a season, right? If you know how hard coffee is to pick and to process and to cultivate. So buy some Zapatista coffee and you'll be helping migrant rights organizations on the border. Even if you don't drink coffee, buy the coffee. That's another way you can spend your money if you're afraid just to give in. Because you're not getting something for nothing. You're getting freedom for something. Even if you don't give money, you're getting freedom right now. If this is the first time you've heard it, you're getting it free for the first time. You might not get it free next time, because there might not be a next time. And we have to take care of each other, right? We have to take care of each other. And the way we take care of communities that are not here is that we send them money. We send them money. So thank you for listening to me for my stand-up comedian monologue. Give. You'll feel much better. Better than drugs, but I don't know about better than sex, but it's right up there.
Thank you, Arnaldo. Let's really give it up for Arnaldo and the committee because they have been really giving so much, not only here in Oakland, but abroad. And all of this beautiful art that you see in here was hung up last night, the night before. And so this committee, Arnaldo has been a poet. He's been filling in. And so let's just give it up for the committee for all that they've done. Let's give it up, everybody. And truly what he said is real. If we want organizations to continue, we truly have to support them. So I'm going to ask you to stretch outside of your comfort zone tonight. We want these artists to really feel supported. So we want you not to feel so spread out. So we're going to ask you to come a little bit closer. Want to get it a little bit more intimate. We're going to have some music, some dancing. So we want you to come in a little bit closer. For those that are way in the back near the coffee, come on up a little bit closer. And thank you for moving out of your seats and coming closer. All right, we still see people moving forward. All those that are having conversations in the back, come on. This is our last performance of the night. Let's get a little bit closer. Keep this community vibe going. Some of us have been here pretty much. Some of you have been here all day. Thank you for all of the workshop presenters and all of the artists that perform. So we have Los Nadi.
Lo hicimos con qué dolor.
We need sound on the bass mic for the drum, please.
Check C.
Kick drum still is absent.
Cielo con qué dolor, dijo una garza morena. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido y son mayores sus penas. Al cielo con qué dolor, dijo una garza morena. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido y son mayores sus penas. Ay, ¿qué le da? ¿Qué le da? Y vamos a ver cómo corre el agua, vamos a verla correr. Ay, ¿qué le da? ¿Qué le da? Y vamos a ver que el agua que se derrama no se vuelve a recoger. Mariquita, quita, 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 me de padecer. Que a rato que no te veo y loco me voy a volver. Lucero de la mañana, lucero. Si supieras, vida mía, lo mucho que yo te quiero. Ay, ¿qué le da? ¿Qué le da? Y vamos a cómo corre el agua y vamos a verla correr. Ay, que le doy, vamos a ver que el agua que se derrama y no se vuelve a recoger.
Buenas noches, familia. ¡Que vivan los zapatistas!
Quita, me debe padecer que hay rato que no te veo y loco me voy a volver. Lucero de la mañana, lucero. Si supiera vida mía lo mucho que yo te quiero. Ay, que le da y vamos a ver cómo corre el agua y vamos a verla correr. Ay, que le doy, vamos a ver que el agua que se derrama y no se vuelve a recoger.
Buenas noches, hermosa gente.
Gracias.
Nosotros somos los Nadies. Siempre es un tremendo honor, placer estar acá, celebrando, conmemorando, honrando lo que es la lucha zapatista, la llamada por un mundo donde quepan todos los mundos, la llamada por un mundo donde el amor, la solidaridad, la diversidad son celebradas. Es muy lindo estar acá en el CompArte que está pasando en todo el hemisferio. Muchísimas gracias por invitarnos. Esa canción era de México, La Mariquita, y ahora nos vamos a Cuba con una canción del maestro Don Silvio Rodríguez, Causas y Azares.
Cuando Pedro salió a su ventana, no sabía, oh alma querida, que la luz de esa clara mañana era la luz de su último día, y las causas lo fueron cercando, poderoso, invencible, y el azar eso le viene enredando, poderoso, invencible. Hey, 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 hey. Cuando Juan regresaba a su lecho, no sabía, oh alma querida, que en la noche lluviosa y sin techo lo esperaba el amor de su vida. Buenas causas lo fueron cercando, poderoso, invencible. Yo lo sé, eso me viene enredando, poderoso, invencible. Cuando acabo este verso que canto, ay, yo no sé, madre mía, si me espera la paz o el encanto. Ay, si me espera o si es todavía. Buenas causas me andan cercando, poderoso, invencible, y el azar se me viene enredando, poderoso, invencible. Gracias.
De esta canción nos vamos de Cuba a Argentina a través de una canción que se llama Nada es en vano. Y a pesar de que estos locos fascistas que están tomando las calles nos asustan, nada es en vano. Nos están invitando a ser audaces, nos están invitando a reconocer que para transformar el mundo hay que tomar una postura revolucionaria. No solo hay que luchar contra ellos, pero hay que luchar para crear el mundo en el que realmente creemos. Nada es en vano.
Se vale bailar, ¿ah? Sueño con tus ojos, por si acaso me pierdo, y con tu recuerdo, para cuando no estás, como un antifaz, se disfraza mi enojo, y una vez en vano, por si un día te vas. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida, ay, 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 mi tren se empieza a encontrar, ay, 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 le canto a la despedida, porque siempre hay tiempo en la vida para volver a empezar. acaso me pierdo y con tu recuerdo para cuando no estás, como un antifaz se disfraza mi enojo. Si una vez en vano, por si un día te vas. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida. Ay, 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 mi tren se empieza a encontrar. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida, porque siempre hay tiempo en la vida para volver a empezar y no tener que estar encerrado en mi pena, irme a dormir pensando en volverte a encontrar en una playa virgen, en un reloj de arena, en un canto de sirena perdido en el mar. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida. Ay, 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 mi tren se empieza a encontrar. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida. Ay, 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 ay. Le canto a la despedida. Ay, 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 mi tren se empieza a encontrar. Ay, 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 le canto a la despedida. Le canto a la despedida, porque siempre hay tiempo en la vida para volver a empezar. Gracias,
Eso.
gracias, no se siente.
Una cumbia.
Vengo a decirte que me voy, que ya nunca me volverás a ver. Si te casas algún día, mándame una invitación, ya que nuestro amor tan grande sal y agua se volvió. Las promesas que me hiciste, el viento se las llevó, pero el mundo que patina, sal y agua se volvió. Y sal y agua, nuestro idilio se volvió.
Rob, I need more
Y
volume.
sal y agua, nuestro idilio se volvió. Vengo a decirte que me voy, que ya nunca me volverás a ver. Si te casas algún día, mándame una invitación, ya que nuestro amor tan grande sabíamos se volvió. Las promesas que me hiciste, el viento se las llevó, y en la bruma como espuma, nuestro amor se disolvió. volvió y salía agua, nuestro idilio se volvió y salía agua, nuestro idilio se volvió. Los caminos de la vida no son lo que yo pensaba, no son lo que imaginaba, no son lo que yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlo, difícil de caminarlo, y no encuentro una salida. Yo pensaba que la vida era distinta y cuando era chiquitito yo creía que las cosas eran fáciles como ayer. Que mi madre preocupada ahí se esperaba por darme todo lo que necesitaba. Yo hoy doy cuenta que tanto así no es, porque a mi madre la veo pensada de trabajar por mi hermano y por mí. Yo ahora quisiera ayudarla y por ella me la como hasta el fin. Por ella lucha hasta que yo me muera y por ella no la quiero morir. Tampoco que se me muera la vieja, pero yo sé que el destino es así. Los caminos de la vida no son lo que yo pensaba, no son lo que imaginaba, no son lo que yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlo, difícil de caminarlo, y no encuentro una salida. Yo pensaba que la vida era distinta y cuando era chiquitito yo creía que las cosas eran fáciles como ayer. Que mi madre preocupada ahí se esperaba por darme todo lo que necesitaba. Yo hoy me doy cuenta que tanto así no es, porque a mi madre la veo pensada de trabajar por mi hermano y por mí. Y ahora quisiera ayudarla y por ella me la como hasta el fin. Por ella lucha hasta que yo me muera y por ella no me quiero morir. Por eso que se me muera la vieja, pero yo sé que el destino es así. lo que yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlo, difícil de caminarlo, y no encuentro una salida. Yo pensaba que la vida era lindita, y cuando era chiquitito yo creía que las cosas eran fáciles como ayer. Y mi madre preocupada, ayer me daba por darme todo lo que necesitaba. Yo me doy con el tanto, así no es, porque a mi madre la veo pesada de trabajar por mi hermano y por mí. Y ahora quisiera ayudarla, y por ella me la como hasta el fin. Por ella lucho hasta que yo me muera, y por ella no me quiero morir. Tampoco que se me muera la vieja, pero yo sé que el destino es así.
Qué lindo verlos bailar, muchas gracias. Seremos pocos, pero estamos animados. Mis hijos están cayendo de la silla, creo que es un buen signo. Tengo que darle las gracias a Nilo por prestarme su sombrero de Barcelona para esta noche. La próxima canción se llama Así es la vida.
Y que me traigan más botellas para quitarme este sabor de tu sudor, y que me traigan en la cuenta toda la nostalgia que dejó. Es la vida, que caprichosa, a veces negra, a veces color rosa. Así es la vida, cacarandosa. Te quita, te pone, te sube, te baja y a veces te lo da. Así es la vida, que caprichosa, a veces negra, a veces color rosa. Así es la vida, acarandosa. Te quita, te pone, te sube, te baja y a veces te lo da. El corazón, que me hará justicia la razón. ¿Qué importa? ¿Qué importa? Que tu vida es como un carnaval, que tarde o temprano volverás. ¿Qué importa? despreciado y que nadie te ha querido como yo. Así es la vida, de caprichosa, a veces negra, a veces color rosa. Así es la vida, acarandosa, te quitan, te ponen, te suben, te bajan y a veces te lo dan. Así es la vida, de caprichosa, a veces negra, a veces color rosa. Así es la vida, acarandosa, te quitan, te ponen, te suben, te bajan y a veces te lo dan. Así es la vida.
We need Chris's guitar on the monitor. We can't hear it, please. Ahora nos vamos a Perú.
All right. Vamos pa' Barranco, vamos con su son, que la noche embriague hoy mi corazón. Vamos pa' la punta o pa'l callejón, que esta noche mi alma te invita el cajón. Yo te invito a disfrutar de ese lando, de esa ciudad que te entretiene entre la noche. Yo te invito a vacilar donde viví, donde nací, donde la gente clama urgente. Ay, déjame decírtelo, déjame gritártelo, déjame encontrarte entre la noche. Rumba, rumba Perú, ay rumba, rumba, rumba Perú, rumba, ay rumba Perú, ay rumba, rumba, rumba Perú, rumba, rumba Perú, rumba, rumba, rumba Perú, rumba. Ay rumba Perú, ay rumba, rumba, rumba Perú. Yo te invito a vacilar donde viví, donde sentí, donde la gente clama urgente. Yo te invito a vacilar donde crecí, donde sentí, donde mi vida ya se cuenta. Ay, déjame decírtelo, déjame gritártelo, déjame encontrarte entre la noche. rincocito del camino donde yo pudiera encontrar algo de consuelo y de paz para mi tormento. Digo lo que siento, es mi sentimiento. Un rincocito del camino donde yo pudiera encontrar algo de consuelo y de paz para mi tormento. Digo lo que siento, es mi sentimiento. Ah, yo te invito a vacilar, donde viví, donde subí, donde la gente clama urgente. Ay, yo te invito a vacilar, donde viví, donde sentí, donde la gente clama urgente. Déjame decírtelo, ay, déjame contártelo, déjame encontrarte entre la noche. Rumba, Perú, ay, rumba, rumba. Rumba, Perú, rumba. Rumba, Perú, ay, rumba, rumba. Rumba, rumba. Rumba, Perú, ay, rumba, rumba. Rumba, Perú, rumba. Rumba, Perú, ay, rumba, rumba. Rumba, Perú. Vamos pa' Barranco, vamos con su son, que la noche embriague hoy mi corazón. Vamos pa' la punta o pa'l callejón, que esta noche mi alma te invita el cajón. Que esta noche mi alma te invita el cajón, 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 te invita el cajón. Oiga. Oiga. ¡Qué bonito! ¿Cómo dice? Toma, toma. ¡Ay, qué rico! ¿Cómo dice? Tú perteneces a otro hombre, yo pertenezco a otra mujer. Tú perteneces a otro hombre, yo pertenezco a otra mujer. ¡Vamos ahí! Gracias.
The next song we used to always dedicate to Sheriff Jeff Arpaio, but thankfully the beautifully resistant, resilient Latino community, the multiracial community of Arizona, got that sheriff out of power, and hopefully soon he's going to be in jail. So this song we'll dedicate it tonight to Trump in the hopes that relatively soon he'll suffer the same fate.
Esto se llama Cabrón. Where are you from? Eres distinto, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón. Where are you from? Somos distintos.
Hey, cabrón.
Hey, cabrón. Where are you from? Eres distinto, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón. Where are you from? Somos distintos. Guerra, la que mata 1000 veces. Hambre, la que mata despacio. Suerte, la que guía mis pasos. Guerra, la que mata 1000 veces. Hambre, la que mata despacio. Suerte, la que guía mis pasos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Eres distinto, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Somos distintos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Eres distinto, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Somos distintos. Guerra, la que mata 1000 veces. Hambre, la que mata despacio. Suerte, la que guía mis pasos. Guerra, la que mata 1000 veces. Hambre, la que mata despacio. Suerte, la que guía mis pasos. Bolívar que dio la guerra, dio la mentira. Esta tierra, digan lo que digan, hay miseria y viene de arriba. Esta tierra nació bendecida, tiene agua y todos los climas. Seguiremos América Latina, seguiremos América Latina, seguiremos América Latina, seguiremos. Seguiremos América Latina, seguiremos. Seguiremos América Latina, seguiremos. Cabrón, where are you from? Eres distinto, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Somos distintos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Somos distintos, por eso te matamos. Hey, cabrón, where are you from? Somos distintos. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, familia. Let's not forget that we're here not only to celebrate, we're also here to directly support, contribute financially, materially, by committing our labor, our resources to the Zapatista cause. It's been almost 3 decades since the amazing New Year's resurrection that came out of Chiapas at a moment in history when many of us were feeling deflated, confused, uncertain about what came next in our struggle for justice and liberation. The people of Chiapas rose up and inspired folks across all continents, and they're still here today, guiding us, leading us with poetry, with imagery that in very eloquent and simple terms tells us what it means to be our better selves. So in that spirit, let's remember that we're here because El Comité Zapata, the folks who organized this event, have been steadfastly organizing to make this work at the forefront of our liberation work here. So support them by buying coffee, support them by signing up to be part of the work they do on a regular basis, and above all, be sure before you leave tonight to give them a hug and thank them for the tireless work they do. And with that, we're gonna transition to our next song. José, las luces, por favor.
Es mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente. Vamos caminando juntos por la vida, intentando armonizarla en su medida. Y quisiera que escucharas a mi gente, pa' que sientas como canta un continente. ¡Hey! Es mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente, mi gente, mi gente, es mi gente. Mi gente, mi gente, mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente, es mi gente. Vamos, Mateo. Es mi gente. Agurulengo merengue gengerelenge moro, aguru songo moro konkorolongo mawo, agurulengo ma gengerelenge moro, aguru songo merengue gengerelenge moro, agurulongo moro konkorolongo mawo, aguru songo merengue gengerelenge mawo. Oh, mi gente. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Lindley Meese in the house.
Woo! We're gonna say goodbye with one more song, please. Nos vamos a despedir con una cumbia, ¿ok? Así, pero a bailar, porque la revolución se hace bailando, carajo. Pienso como soy, ¿dónde te vas? ¿Dónde te fue? ¿Quién te quedó? Llévate el salame o te lo llamo yo. ¿Cuánto querés? ¿Cuánto cobras? ¿Cuánto me das? ¿Cuánto tenés? Deja ese boludo, el boludo soy yo. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Por qué no me querés? ¿Por qué no te reís? ¿Cuánto cobras? ¿Cuánto me das? Es que es el salame, llévate este jamón. ¿Cuánto querés? ¿Cuánto pedís? ¿Cuánto soñás? ¿Cuánto querés? Es que el boludo, o el boludo soy yo. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. Nena rubia, qué bello el recuerdo de aquel primer beso, de aquel primer beso. Si hasta me pongo ciego de solo pensarlo, gente del alma de Constitución. ¿Por qué no te dormís? ¿Por qué no te bañás? ¿Por qué no te ves? ¿Por qué no te lavas? ¿O te lavas los pies? ¿O te lo lavo yo? ¿Cuánto querés? ¿Cuánto cobras? ¿Cuánto me das? ¿Cuánto tenés? Deja ese boludo, o el boludo soy yo. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar. ¿Cómo? Para no enamorarme, me enamoro para no tomar.
Muchas gracias. Nos vemos en el próximo CompArte Festival.